You're listening to The Startup with Monique LeRae, only on LA Talk Radio.
How's it going, Los Angeles? This is The Startup with Monique LeRae. I'm Monique LeRae. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Sunday, August 6th. How are you guys doing? Are you keeping cool out there? It is so hot today. It is, if you're from Southern California, we call this earthquake weather. We're hoping there's no earthquakes, but it's kind of like that. It's, we're known for our Pacific breeze, and it's very muggy. It's very South Beach kind of. South Beach is fun, but it's very humid and sticky and hot and hazy. And usually that means earthquakes for us, LA people. But hopefully none of that. Guys, I have an exciting show today. I have two entrepreneurs on today that are amazing. I want to recap a couple things before we jump in. First, I want to give you guys an update on the Pandemic Project documentary, this 3-year thing now that I've been doing. We're going to go ahead and make an announcement very soon. So I want you guys to stand by. But it will be accessible to people in the Southern California area. We're going to do a premiere. And then we're going to also do it where you can stream it. So stand by on that, okay? But today I have my first guest. I would like to welcome Raquel. Raquel, how's it going? Welcome.
Great. How are you? Thanks for having us, Monique.
And we got Dimitri, so we've got a bonus. Hi, guys.
That's right. 2 for the price of 1.
I love it.
Thank you from Miami, Florida, right in the other corner of the country.
We were just talking about Miami. We're just saying it feels a little sticky. Miami's a great time. Don't get me wrong. I have a great time, but it's, we're known for our Pacific breeze. So today we're feeling a little hot and spicy.
I'm jealous. It's so freaking hot here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers and tell them who you are.
All right. I'm Raquel Gomez. I am Staffy founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO.
And I'm Dimitri Rico, and also one of the founders and the COO.
Well, listen, thank you for the C-suite making time on a Sunday late afternoon and early evening for you. Yeah. So you guys are really smiling, so happy. I know why you're happy. Why don't you tell the listeners and viewers what you're up to?
Well, there's a lot going on. So we own Staffy, and Staffy is a business that is dedicated to help small business owners free up their time so they can focus on the things that really matter, and being the CEO, being the business owners that they are, focus on strategy, and allowing them to be more selective about their time, also to have more time off and have more time with their families and time for themselves. And we do that by providing highly qualified staff, virtual staff that they can trust on and delegate to. And we also, with the staff, we provide the HR support that comes with having new staff, right? So all the onboarding, the training, the management, we take that all off their hands, off their shoulders.
So we're really about making our clients happy.
Yep.
Wow. So you guys are kind of this, so your built-in staff, your built-in help. You're kind of like, you're the built-in help that everybody would need. What size businesses, because, we are on the startup, but if you're scaling to medium size or larger, like where is your sweet spot where you're really, really, you can hit it home for people? Like what's your size that you're looking for?
So we have businesses of different sizes, but our sweet spot are anywhere from someone who's a solo entrepreneur, like they have no help, and they can definitely use an assistant, so we can be there to support them, all the way to businesses with about 25 staff members.
Yeah, and we have clients, in LA as an example, that have been adding their staff using us. Because it's hard to find people today that really want to work and that are talented and want to make a commitment. And everyone that we hire is based in Latin America. They're all working remote, and they just love the fact that they're having an opportunity to work for a U.S. law firm or a U.S. construction company.
Yeah, any small business. And also the costs. It's very costly to hire staff locally, right? And all of the costs that come on top of that staff, benefits, employment tax. So when you work with Staffy, you don't have any of that.
Wow, you guys are really like the welcome home, everybody. Like, come to mom and dad. It's like the sweet spot. Here's your apple and your sack lunch and get to work. Like, it's like, yeah. I love that. You guys have that very welcome home feel to you. I wonder where you started. On the startup here, we like to know an origin story. So would you mind sharing how you guys narrowed this niche down and how you became really badass at this and the ones to come to at Staffy?
Yeah. So I'll start first. I think we come from working for very large corporations, West Coast technology companies and the sorts. And so we saw what scale looked like. We saw what a 400,000 employee person company looked like. I had 200 people working for me at one of the jobs that I had, another 150 at another job. So it really becomes, you get to learn. There's horrible things about working in a large corporation, but they do know how to scale. And so we saw this need in the small company, we tend a lot to small female-owned law firms. That's kind of one of our big niches, and we want to help them scale. So everything that we learned working in a large corporation, I think that's what kind of helped us be able to help these small companies.
Yeah.
It feels like you guys are giving, and I'll let you respond as well. I feel like you guys are kind of giving those entrepreneurs that might be breaking off from larger corporations that cushion that they need to kind of launch and be in that sweet spot. But what were you going to say, Raquel?
Absolutely. No, I was like, Dimitra, we have a very similar background in terms of coming from large corporate America in the high tech space and telecommunications. And we saw these companies taking advantage of highly qualified virtual staff, offshore staff, and that enabled them to scale and grow quickly. And we thought, okay, why not bring this great opportunity to small business owners who struggle with hiring talent, how to properly vet and screen someone, the time to manage someone, how to properly onboard, how to train someone, the cost. Because if you work with Staffy, it's about half or maybe sometimes 1/3 of what it would cost to hire locally. So so I think we try to help small business owners really, with these pain points that are so real.
Well, listen, what you're doing is amazing. And I feel, like I said, like there's warm cookies and milk and like it's just like a welcome hug. You guys seem like you're very competent and amazing. And right now, you guys must know about the strike here in California. Well, in New York, LA, everywhere, the SAG and the WGA strike. But for unscripted people like myself who work in reality TV and unscripted and documentaries, right now is the uptick. People are buying more than ever content unscripted. They've got to fill those slots, right, until they finish their strike. So maybe you guys might be looking into our genre, us unscripted reality TV people. What do you think?
That makes a lot of sense. Do you need an executive assistant, Monique?
I need a lot of things, and that's on the list. I am so burnt. I need a lot of things. And yes, Santa needs to come early this year. For sure.
No, but that makes a lot of sense. Look, I think that all of us at some point, no matter who you are, we end up doing administrative tasks. You spend X number of hours every day doing things that somebody else could do for you, maybe even do it better than you do them, and give you the time to be strategic about the things that are important, things that, you want to see who you want to interview next, who do you want to talk about. Those are the things that only Monique can do. Yeah. And there's so many things that other people can do stuff for you to free up that time.
Yeah. Busy work will never make you rich,
That's the key, right? Knowing when to delegate and going, I've got this. The thing that I've birthed and the things that I put around it are strong enough to sustain. Even if I hire the wrong person, it's not going to F up my dream and my brand and my business. I've got control of that. But knowing when to go, all right, you know what? Let me trust so-and-so with this. Speak to that for me, because I've struggled with that. I know that I can. And when I find the right people, I just delegate. But finding that trust in yourself to do that? That's what I know a lot of startup owners are having trouble with.
We want things to be perfect.
We
all
do.
the time.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. So it's not about, they're not going to do it perfect. They're not going to care as much as you care. They're not going to do it to the level that you are. You just have to accept that 80% for many things is good enough. Yeah. And it's really about.
That's what it is. It really is, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs are perfectionists. We're crazy people.
Yeah.
You have to kind of divorce that a little bit and go, it's got to just be good enough.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. Or you're never going to grow, or you're never going to like really become like have a successful business, you know?
No, you're right. You're right.
Is the more you grow is linked to the more you delegate and the more successful that your business becomes.
And we have such high expectations about other people too, I think, you know. I'm sure yourself and like us, we're very critical. We judge ourselves constantly, and then we can't do that to other people. Their limits are different than our limits, and that's okay.
Even to ourselves, I think it's like a mindset thing, right? Like the less judgmental you become, the more forgiving you are to yourself. Because entrepreneurs, we tend to be very harsh on ourselves, right? Wow. We do something and it doesn't go the way that we're predicting, or we're always like just so harsh on ourselves.
Beyond.
Especially women are the worst, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have a very sweet spot for women entrepreneurs. I love working with women. I'm very big into women empowerment. And because it's harder for women of all people to delegate, right? We're mothers, or we're, you know, it's like we're tend to be, I think, micromanagers in nature.
Yeah.
And it's harder for us. So I really believe that working on your mindset is really important. Also to achieve levels of success, right? Different levels of success.
Wow, guys, you guys are really like we're having church today. Like it's Sunday and we're in South Beach right now with them virtually, and we're taking it home. You guys are really like the chicken soup for the entrepreneur soul, when it's like, come bring it to mommy and daddy. We got you. Like, because you want a soft place to land as an entrepreneur, right? You want to know, okay, I'm going to hand it over to these two, and this is something I can get off my list. That's literally 15 points. I mean, you got lists everywhere, and they're. Yeah. So where can we find you guys? Let's plug you. Obviously, we have it here, but let's do a couple plugs around all the socials. Where can people find getstaffy.com, obviously, but where else can they find you?
Yeah. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, it's Get Staffy everywhere. And the website, www.getstaffy.com.
Love that. I love that. Where do you guys, what's your dream client on this next quarter? I know we're going into September now soon. And so what would be your dream client? You mentioned that you like to foster women, and I think that's great. Demetrio, you mentioned something about tech in Silicon Beach, I think. I gathered. So what's your sweet spot? Who could you help right now?
Look, I think a woman-owned company that is looking to scale and doesn't know how and is ready to get some consulting about delegation, I think we can help that person.
Yeah. And we are very special niche for us are lawyers and law firm owners. So
we got a lot of those in California, darling.
I know. We provide a lot of legal assistants, paralegals, intake client specialists, receptionists. Yeah. And we're very boutique, and we're happy to explain how and get into a consultation. Yeah. But yeah, we're very specific and particular about who we hire for what, and what we have a Staffy University in-house that we provide so much training.
And we want to help you, Monique.
Yeah, we want to help you.
Are you ready? We're going to talk. We're going to talk offline. Have your people email my people. I definitely need help. It's true. Yeah. You know, when you've got like 15 things going, it's just you can only do so much, and I've learned that. But yes, I will accept help. You guys are awesome. I'm going to connect with you guys. I'll be in Jamaica at the end of August.
Okay.
Doing a sizzle reel shoot for a TV show. So I've got to stop in Miami on my way. So
yes.
I have to have some capareñas or something. So
yes, let us take you out.
I would love it. I would love it.
We're like big party people.
Yes, and we'll talk business. Yes.
Of course.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for creating a beautiful soft landing for entrepreneurs to scale and grow. I think you guys from the screen are amazing. Plug your brand one more time so they know where to follow you.
All right. So www.getstaffy.com. And that's Staffy as STAFI.com.
Awesome.
Be well. Stay cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you. Ciao. All right, you guys, getstaffy.com. If you are a small to medium business like myself and you're trying to scale and you're trying to do it all, these people here at getstaffy.com seem to be really, really skilled at what they're doing. I'm excited to explore that and see more about it. So everybody on the startup, what we're doing is just giving you techniques, skills, access to help you grow your brand. This started 4 years ago with me, not having those resources. So just kind of sharing how I did it and how I'm doing it and kind of doing it step by step with you and giving you the access as I get it is what this show's all about. As you guys know, in about a month or so, month and a half, I'll be celebrating my 4-year anniversary here with Sam on LA Talk Radio. Sam, can you believe it's 4 years? I always say that. Guys, if you haven't checked out his morning show, check out Sam in the Mornings. Sam's really great. Thanks, Sam. Congratulations. In the meantime, I want to give a shout out to an author. You guys know I like books. I like authors. If you don't know that, now you know. I'm constantly speaking with PR people and authors around the country to hear more about things, because a lot of entrepreneurs write books. I'm working on a couple of them. They're not out yet, but I'll probably drop them all at the same time. I wanted to say congratulations to Corinne Neuville. She's got this new book, Indiscernible Elements, Calcium. I love the color. I don't know, you guys don't know that I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a big Bjork fan, Bjork, Bjork. She's from Iceland. And this reminds me of a cover of one of her albums, Vespertine. If you guys know Bjork, what do you think? Does that look like Vespertine's album? I'm kind of a weirdo. All my friends don't get it, but I love Bjork. Well, one of my friends gets it. Anyway, congratulations, Corinne. The book is kind of amazing. I won't give it away because you have to buy her book, but this is the opening page. And speaking of Corinne, I think we have her here.
Hi.
Corinne, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, my dear. I'm just thumbing through your beautiful book. I didn't show them everything. I just showed them the front. I said they have to buy the book to get the experience, but
I appreciate that.
Congratulations. Yes. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Corinne Neuville. I wrote and illustrated Indiscernible Elements, Calcium, as Monique is showing very nicely there. And I currently live in Driggs, Idaho, which is near Jackson, Wyoming. A very strange place if you're not familiar.
I love Jackson.
Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. So I live on the other side of the Tetons.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yes. We have to talk about that offline. Girlfriend, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for sending this. I really love your bookmark. I love everything about this. Why don't you tell us what gave you the inspiration, even though I have the book, so I've read, I know what the inspiration is. But for the viewers and listeners that need to buy this book, tell us.
Yeah, I came up with Calcium. I didn't start with it, which is maybe a surprise, but I worked backwards. So I was really interested in funeral home design, and for more background information, I studied architecture and am a working designer. And I was studying funeral homes and practices and just the whole aspect that it hasn't changed that much over the years. And I was doing my thesis work, and upon that I kind of got in a crossroads position where I knew I wanted to create a story, but where I was heading with funeral home design wasn't leading me to that. So I took a moment, a step back, and I really researched what happens when the deceased is put into the ground and what starts to come away from that, what parts of our bodies break away, or what parts of organisms break away. And it led me to calcium. And calcium, I chose it because it can connect humans, architecture, and the earth. And the same element that's within our bones and teeth is the same element we use to make architectural products like drywall and concrete. We modify them to what we need them to be, but it all comes from the same spot.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? You completely reverse engineered this thing. It's awesome. I love it. Isn't that funny how you fall into things? Like, I'm sure a few years ago you didn't know you were going to be writing a book about calcium. I mean, you were doing your thesis, like you said.
Yeah, definitely not.
And you know, I was sharing this before you came on. I'm a little old school, but it reminds me of, I don't know if you know the artist Bjork, but she's one of my favorite artists. And this design reminds me of her Vespertine album a little bit.
Okay.
You have to look at her. Let's see. I'll send you on in the chat her song, but that Vespertine album, there's a song and she's got like this thing is kind of moving and it kind of looks like this design. Of course it's original. You're the author, but anyway, it brought me to Bjork, and some of the stuff inside kind of reminds me of Bjork. So
that's
had
amazing.
an Icelandic experience through your book.
Wow, that's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah, she's
and I love
good.
Iceland too.
Oh gosh, it's amazing. So what is your goal with this book? Where are you wanting it to be? What are you thinking is the next step for you?
I just hope it brings awareness and offers a way for people to see the earth in a different way and how everything's connected. What I love about calcium is that it offers us to look at cycles in a different way, and how looking at the element calcium can show us what happens after an ending, how there's always a new beginning, and what can that bring us. And that's just what I hope people take away from it. And next, I just hope to keep exploring more elements and seeing what they have to offer us.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you were doing your thesis and you got into the calcium, and you mentioned some funeral home design. Was mortician studies, is that the proper term? Was that kind of your lane anyway, or were you going in a different direction?
I guess in a weird way, it was kind of what I studied a lot in school. And just trying to think of new practices and a new way to design a funeral home and what the future looks like in that. So, for example, one of my favorite places now is called Recompost, and they offer a different way of not like cremating, but your body composts.
Yeah, I heard of this. Yeah.
Yes. So it's now legal, I believe, in 8 states, but they started in Washington.
Yeah.
So at the end of the composting, I think it takes about a month, and your family can come pick your soil, and they are able to go plant it elsewhere. Nice. And then that way your body is turning into a new organism, which I love that.
I love that too, but you're giving me Midsommar vibes now. Have you seen that movie?
No, but I don't, but.
Oh my God. At the end, I don't want to give it away, you guys.
Okay.
I love horror movies, but this thing has me shook. It's like soil at the end. I don't want to give it away. But yeah, you've got a lot of homework. Midsommar. Be prepared. You're going to be effed up for a while. Just seeing the trailer F's me up. It's very psychologically. I'm a horror movie person, and that thing I'm still wrecked. I don't know how long it's been. It's one of the scariest movies ever.
All right, I'll make sure I'm in a good state before I do that.
Yes, be in a good state and have popcorn and support, because
both my animals right next to me.
They kind of subscribe to what you just said towards the end of the film. I'll just say that.
All right.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, you're awesome. I think you're super talented and super creative, and I can't wait to see what you do next. I will say this, Corinne. I went to Sundance this January, and I saw a documentary on rocks. And she did a lot of sound and a lot of it kept you interested, even though I did leave before it ended because I could only watch so much about rocks. But, the wine can only flow so long. But I was at Sundance, and so was she. So good for her. But maybe there's some fun stuff about calcium. Are you interviewing any dentists? I mean, are you in?
So that is something that's become so fun about interviewing is how interested people are about ourselves and what they want to know. And a lot of my studies has been in the architecture realm. So it's so fun getting to talk to you and being like, have you talked to a dentist? And I wish I could say yes, but
maybe they definitely are doing stuff with calcium, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In another life, I was a dental assistant, but that's another
okay.
Well, I love this. Where can we order it? Did you tell us? Let's plug the book.
All right. You can get it on Amazon or the Black Hat Press, which is my publisher, and it's a small company based in Minnesota if you'd like to support them. And then you can follow me on Cornville. It's Kornville, and that's on Instagram.
How cute. You married the two words. I like that. Well, Corinne, I think you're super interesting. Thank you for giving a damn about the funeral homes. I would like to have a disco ball in there and have gays floating for my funeral. That's what I would like to have, but we'll
love that
later.
I just recently got married and I had 100 disco balls. That's the only thing I wanted.
Congratulations. 90 disco balls. That's a song you need to look up too. I'm giving her all the notes. So, Corinne, you need to come see us in February in Beverly Hills. I would love to have, I think we could do a cool little holographic bookmark for your book.
Ooh.
And have a QR code and they can have an experience because your book is kind of cool, right? So I'm not showing anybody the inside, but we should talk because I would like you to do the Grammys event with me, the celebrity event that we're doing.
Wow. I would love that so much.
So I'll send your people the info after the show, but come out and let's see what we can do and create an experience. Maybe you could bring a coffin. I don't know.
Oh, why not? Why not?
I know.
I think
I love Halloween.
I feel like I could also just check that as luggage. So
I love Halloween as much as Corinne, I have a feeling. So yes, you guys pick this book up. Indiscernible Elements, Calcium by Corinne Neville. She's Neuville. She's awesome. And this book is really trippy, man. Take a gummy and explore it. It's fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Corinne, for being here, and have a beautiful Sunday.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
All right, my dear. You guys, that was Corinne Neuville, and this is her book. It's a little fun. It's a little different. All right, you guys, I will see you next Sunday at 4:00. We have a great show lined up for you. Stay tuned again for the Pandemic Project documentary. We're also doing the Grammys Celebrity Gifting Suite in the first week of February. The Emmys event is gonna be postponed because of the strike, and so we're gonna go ahead and move everything to the Grammys in February. Gives you time to have your holidays, gives you time. Hopefully the strike will be over, but in the meantime, if you are a brand and you'd like to be on, email us, capaquariusmedia@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at The Startup with Monique LeRae. It's right there. Also, thank you. A shout out to our sponsors, Michael Solberg Family Wines, La Casa del Camino, and Next Level Global Solutions. Shout out to Shane Hyman. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for the show. Sam, thank you so much. One more month until my 4-year anniversary. I got to get a really good cake. All right, guys. I think that's it for now. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. And thanks to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Well, not Instagram. Thanks to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for having us live. And as usual, you guys, what will you start up today? Be well, and I'll see you next Sunday. Stay cool.
You're listening to The Startup with Monique LeRae, only on LA Talk Radio.